Okay, Scotty, I hear you. Somebody had to say it. I just wish it was somebody else. Because now I got to hold you to it. If you haven't heard, if you've been living under a rock, he said what, you know what? He said the quiet thing out loud. That's what we call saying the quiet thing out loud. Somebody had to say, I would have rathered it be Darko. Because if it doesn't work out, I get to crucify him with extreme prejudice. I don't have to be I'm not, it's not as personal as it would be with Scotty. And I love what he said. You know what I mean? He understands that our expectations and the team's expectations are on the same plane. You want to definitely make the playoffs and win some games in the playoffs. I'm with it. That's the new standard. I'm with it. But then there was something in my spirit and I felt a little guilty for feeling that way. I felt, and it took me a little time to really rationalize and put it in proper context. I truly believe we're like a year away from that type of declaration. Because we really don't know what we got yet. And I'm excited to see what we got, but not excited to the point where it's like the standard is we got to make the playoffs and win playoff games right now. Right now, I say next year, we can say that. We should be able to definitively and definitely say that next year. This year, let's just make the playoffs, let everybody know we about business, and we should be taken seriously. And then we take the next step, which is the playoff wins and the series wins. And you know what I mean? That thing. I felt that's the first thing I felt. I was like, oh, too soon. Too much too soon. But I was like, you know what? Maybe he sees something I don't. Maybe they know something we don't. We're on the outside looking in. They're on the inside looking out. The only thing left is the gauntlet of the 82 game season. And that's the mystery. That's the interesting mystery that we all get to discover together. But I'm happy that Scotty has that confidence. He's confident in what he worked on. He's confident in what we have as a team, the philosophy that we'll be working under, the system that we'll be working under. He's confident enough to say this on camera. I don't want us to get into this habit of saying the right things, because then you fall in line with what's going on in social media. We're simply just trying to be relevant based off of what your hot take is or what your conversation piece is over the performance. I've said it time and time again. The NBA, the basketball conversation has trumped the actual playing of basketball, and the fundamentals and the foundations of winning have been just ignored. Like they're more happy with the relevant conversation than winning in the NBA now. I don't want to get caught up in that. You know what I mean? I don't want to get guys caught up in the conversation and forget about the competition, because it's different on the court. It's one thing to talk that shit. It's different on the court. But I'm happy Scotty is in that space, in that pocket mentally where I don't have time. It has to be that way for me at the least, because I got to make something happen. I got to get it to pop it. It's too easy. I got to figure this thing out. And if it means putting pressure on myself, cool. If that's the main frame, I'm cool with that. I'm happy that he's accepting the challenge. I'm happy that he understands what we want and deserve as fans. A lot of players are on some, you know what I mean? There's a disconnect between what the fans want and what the fans expect and what the player is performing and working under those expectations. It's like they have their own program. Not understanding without the fans and the support, the program means nothing. We need each other. It goes hand in hand. I love the fact that Scotty stays in tune with what the fans want and what we crave. Like, there was a pocket of time where dominance was the order of the day, when consistent wins and win streaks were the norm, when top 3 was normal, top 2 normal, number 1 in the East normal. Coming out of the East, the standard is that championship normalcy. Once you win one, the only thing left to do is go back and do it again. And without Masai Ujiri being here, the legacy still continues. That conversation has to continue, because it's his dream, it's our dream, and now the team is getting back into working under that construct. We need to, this is the standard here, winning, and we'll take one step at a time. But this was a leap. Woo, what Scotty said is a leap, and everybody has to be on the same page. And it starts with Scotty. If he's going to declare it, then that's what's up. I'm with it. I'm supporting it. But listen, when shit go left, I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm not gonna support you to a fault to where I turn a blind eye to the reality that's in front of me. But if I'm gonna support him 100%, but when shit get funny, I'm gonna talk about that funny shit. I'm gonna be hilarious when I do it too. But respect to Scotty for making the statement. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to, right now, I would rather have it been Darko, because his system and his theories and philosophies for using everybody's talent and winning with what we have is important, because it gives validity and proper usage, and everybody's not overextending themselves, and we can stay away from injuries in a lot of pockets where injuries would be a conversation piece, because they're doing too much, because they don't have a direction, they don't have an assignment, they don't have instructions or directions to go in. Long as these guys have proper instructions and they understand what their responsibilities are, they can start to pace themselves, and we can get the best product we can get. But I would rather have it been Darko to say it. But if Scotty gonna say it, hey, if the cornerstone of the franchise says it, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? This is what it is. If he believes in what we have from top to bottom, who am I to say? But that's a big leap. Like right now, at least I say test the waters. I'd have been good with the I just want to win. You know what I mean? I just want to win and get to the playoffs. That would have been I'd have been fine with that. But he took a big leap. You know what I mean? And other teams are trying to take that leap as well. You know what I mean? And we're going to be fighting for similar talent in the free agency, because there's nothing but supporting players left now. It's not a lot of superstars, and a lot of superstars are leaving. So everything I've been saying for the last few years is going to come to fruition. And we're going to be on pace to get back to what we used to having, is a bunch of wins and some real, championship conversations. But right now, the first step, I wished he would have just said just winning and getting to the playoffs, to just set that. So if we go further in the playoffs, there's that joy of how we exceeded our expectations. But now when you set the new standard, it's like, all right, now we expecting you to at least get to the second round. Then we expecting you to get out the first round. That's going to be, you know what I mean? I don't want to get into a pocket where I'm ungrateful for the success that the team does have and the steps that the team did make from where we were to where we're going to be in that moment, or where we are in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that Scotty, I'm happy somebody said it, but that was damn. That's a gallon of water right there, champ. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's the baseline for that narrative. Whew, shit, like damn, like there's no wiggle room with that. And some people are gonna take it literally. I'm taking it with a grain of salt. My expectation for the team: win, get back to consistently winning, reliable performances, and let's get to the playoffs. I mean, clearly, I don't mean play in our way in. I'm talking top 6, definitive top 6. We're back in the playoffs. All right, cool. That's a win. Let's get in the playoffs. Let's disrupt some shit. And as far as we go, we go far. We go far. We playing with house money. I don't want to get there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be of the mindset of we have to go further than what I'm expecting. Like, I know the reality of the situation. Let's win consistently, get to the first round. We'll decide. Let the basketball play that we put forth decide our fate. I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna hold Scotty to it. You know what I mean? Maybe he might have been overzealous in the moment with the lights on him and you know what I mean? This is the second one. It's the second time, Scotty. I can't keep bailing you out, my G. Listen, it's the second time. That first one was I want all defensive. I want MVP. I want all. I let you got overzealous with that one. Now this one, At some point, you get to that third one, my G, I'm going to be like, how? How are you going to do it? I'm going to ask a real question. How? In real time, not your theory at the moment. How are you going to take that theory and let it metamorphosize into what's going on in the moment so that you can win every moment to have that ultimate goal accomplished? I'm going to ask the how. He do this shit again, I'm going to ask how. He jump out the window again, I'm going to ask how. That's where we are right now. I'm going to ask, whew, I'm definitely going, let him, you get 3 strikes. This ain't a strike, but this, hey, my man, just don't forget the work. It's a lot of work and a lot of things that have to be done, and a lot of that tightrope that got to be walked by everybody. Got to be on the same page, walking their personal tightrope, giving it all that they got. It's listen. I don't want to put the team achievement on his shoulders because that's the team thing. And if they fall short, it can't all be on him. Even though he did make this magnificent declaration and setting the tone in a new standard, I love it. But I'm taking it with a grain of salt. And I had to put myself in that space mentally and be like, I'm not going to jump out the window. You know what I mean? Like it sounds good, but it's like, I'm not going because I'll do it. Because if I, you know what I mean? Like if I believe blindly, I'm too old to believe something blindly. I'm always going to be logical. I'm like, all right, I get you. I understand. But I'm going to give you wiggle room for failure and for mistakes and for mishaps and that learning curve that you have to go through to learn how to win with your abilities and the team win with your ability. I understand. I got it. I'm going to give Scotty a lot of wiggle room to figure it out and make it happen. I'm going to accept the mistakes. I'm going to accept the mishaps, the shortcomings. I get it's part of it. I'm not going to go into this blindly believing that there's a lot that has to happen. And I'm going to give him a chance to discover that and produce that. I'm not going to blindly go into it. So when it looks like it's not going left or going the way we want, I can't be a part of let's just tank now. Because those people are fucking waiting. That group of people, they not going nowhere. As soon as it look a little murky, yo, let's tank. We should tank for the next 7-foot invisible player that's coming from overseas. They have a 7'6", 12-year-old that's going to declare for the NBA. Let's just tank and see if we can get him in the. I don't want that. I don't want any of that. I want us to look at this thing through grown folk binoculars and accept the realities that come with this fantasy. That's all I'm saying. That's why I had to take a second and let me take a step back and be like, You know what I'm saying? Because the grown man in me is like, I'm too old to just jump off this bridge with you, champ. Come here, man. Let me put this parachute on you. Here's the parachute. You know what I'm saying? This is the emergency lever. If the winds get too strong for you and it's pushing you off course, let us walkie-talkie your boy. I'll meet you on the ground and help you get through it. I'll talk you through it. You hit the parachute. We got a few people that's gonna jump off with you, and they're gonna fly towards you and protect you and make sure you have a proper landing. Because we don't want his dream to die simply because he's courageous enough to jump off the cliff. You know what I mean? But we ain't gonna let you jump, or we ain't gonna let you hang glide, nigga. We ain't gonna let you. There's some fans that are gonna let you hang glide and no, you not. No, I'm giving you a parachute, and I'm gonna let you. Hey, I care about you. But the truth, when it comes, I'm gonna speak it, and I'm gonna be unapologetic about it. But I love that he's saying this because now he's holding himself accountable to do something about it. You know what I mean? And cool. Let's see if your habits and your repetitions and your muscle memory and your psychological approach to the game and deciphering the problems within the games in real time, understanding how to use your abilities comes together and you can get it done. Cool. But I understand there's a time period that you have to go through to figure all that out, and I'm giving him time to do it. I was a little harsh a few months ago because it's just frustrating because it is kind of do or die now. You know what I mean? We're tired of all the waiting for greatness. you know, with this new situation, there's hope. And we don't need him to be Superman. You know what I mean? He can be who he is. And on any given night, if he has it, we're gonna love him. But if he doesn't have it, we gotta I wanna be in a space where I could accept it and be like, all right, it didn't hurt us that much to the point where we lost. And then we go on a losing streak. Because guys have an ebb and flow nowadays. You know what I mean? Especially a player trying to figure out his greatness to be at because this is not regular. Let's be fucking clear. This is not a regular player we're talking about. We're talking about somebody who, if they figure this shit out, is top 10 in the league instantly. And if he masters it and polishes his style of playoff and really figure out how to win with it, we're talking top 5 in the league. On top of automatic all-star, automatic all defensive. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it. But this is what he has to figure out isn't what everybody else has to. I've never seen a guy this close to Hall of Fame, and all he has to figure out is how to use what he already has. Most of the people I've ever seen, they had to add certain things to their game because they didn't have enough. You know what I mean? Because of whatever height they were or size they were. He has all the qualities to be great right now, instant gratification. But he has to figure out mentally how to approach the game and how to get the most out of it. He needs a system, most importantly, so that he can build his game around what's expected of him within the system, so that we can get the most out of his ability, so that we can consistently win and get back to the level of success we're accustomed to. But it's easy to work on a actual skill where you got the ball in your hand and it's mechanical. This is psychological. Even if someone explains it to him, and even if someone talks him through it, he still has to go through it until his mind clicks and wraps its, you know what I mean? He has to, listen, he has to build the neuroplasticity. That we don't know how long that's going to take. You know what I mean? We don't. But when he does, it's going to be a holy shit moment. Because if he does it sooner than later, whew, we're going to see results. You know what I mean? And LeBron can retire. He can definitely go because there's another superstar to carry that point forward type of position where, and the spotlight hits him different. That's part of my frustration too. He doesn't understand just how close he is. I've never seen a player who's considered a glue guy, to be that close to the greatest of the greats playing right now. Like you look at a Draymond, we knew he was never going to be top 10 or top, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? He got the most out of his abilities because of his audacity and his tenacity. And they understood how to use Draymond within that triangle system that Steve Kerr had and that motion offense on the weak side. Like, it was a lot that they were doing. And they utilized him and let him run point forward while Steph, the greatest shooter ever, ran around, Clay ran around, and all these other guys. And he was able to do, he averaged at best, his best season was 14.7 rebounds. That was his best season. He's the single triple double king. But he got the most out of his abilities because he was in the right system. He was in the right state of mind. They got the right results, and it is what it is. He was a very important piece to the Golden State era, that dynasty, that legacy. Very important. Just as important as Steph. Just as important. We got a guy who's an upgrade of that. Add the athleticism and power and other scoring, like, and now if he gets it together within the system, it's through the roof. It's undeniable. I've never seen that before. And to have somebody that I'm a fan of that close to it, it's like shit. But the frustration you have is like, it's like a double-edged sword, because 1 minute you're like, listen, man, if he don't get this shit together, we're gonna have to make decisions. And then on the other hand, it's like he bought himself with that Brandon Ingram trade, it bought him some time. It bought him 3 more years. That's a fact. It bought him 3 more years. Unless he has a horrible season and, Masai is no longer around, Bobby Webster will look. And if we ever do need a trade, person with the most value at some point is going to be looked at as a piece, because nobody's bigger than the program. That was one of the points I wanted to make back then also. No one's bigger than the fucking program. The end goal is for the Raptors to win another championship, no matter who's here, no matter who's around. That first group completely gone, down to Masai Ujiri and Chris Boucher. Everybody's gone. It's about the championship. That's the program. Ain't no favorites, ain't no picks. Whoever's here, that's part of the championship run. Everybody played their part, but it's about the championship. It's about getting back to the finals and winning. Championship number 2, that it never changes. Nobody's bigger than the program. But one thing I will tell you, every game matters now. Every game matters. Every game counts. Every possession counts. Every free throw count. Every rebound count. Every assist, cut to the basket, help side defense, recovery, everything counts. Transition, fill in the lane. Knowing what to do next is going to be key. Next play basketball is going to be key. Guys have to know what to do next. That's all. Listen. Hear him, Scotty saying what he said. Realistically, it may be a culture defining situation. We may mark and timestamp what he just said. One way or another, we are going to timestamp that. Either way, good or bad or indifferent, we're going to end up timestamping that. But for him to say that, it could be our team's cultural defining moment, because we were tanking, competitively tanking, let me say, and rebuilding and remolding, and in this space of there's something better outside, there's something younger, everybody's replaceable, this, that, and the third, to someone saying what we got is enough, we got to win, to saying this is where we are and this is what we need to accomplish. This is our standard. There is no more just being a part of the NBA. We want to be a part of the success. When you speak of the Eastern Conference, we have to be a part of that pressure that's being applied to anybody that's think they're coming out of the Eastern Conference. We're a factor. You know what I mean? And we're going to see if we can produce that. The team got to win. Scotty has to produce, and the team has to win. We're talking about winning in May. Winning in May is what we're talking about. You know what I mean? He's setting the tone. He's setting the tone. I'm with it. You know what I mean? If this is what we're doing, cool. But there's some truths attached to it, and there's certain realities attached to it, and I can't turn the blind eye to them simply because we want to win. We should also want the truth, because there's no winning without the duality between fantasy and reality. Somewhere in between there is the truth, and that's all I care about at this point. I'm with him. I support him. But listen, truth is, I wish he would have said it. I wish he would have chopped that tree a little shorter to give it a little more room to grow. Because some people are going to take what he said literally. And if he doesn't look like he can deliver, they're not going to give him the wiggle room to make adjustments and to grow into the expectations now. But we're going to see. You know what I mean? He got my support, but most importantly, he's going to have my honesty. He definitely deserves that from me. I wanted us to draft him. We drafted him. And despite my frustration, I don't want to make it seem like I'm jumping ship, but I'm going to be honest with him. And I have to be honest with the situation. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Hey, he got my support. Let's do it. If that's what they see and that's what they want to accomplish and he believes it could be done and everybody's on the same page, let's go for it. Let's run for it. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to be here and we got to do it together. I'm out of here. Peace.